Hi everyone, welcome to episode 29 of the Cherry Heart podcast. I'm Sandra, I'm coming to you from the UK, from Bedfordshire in England on a bit of a grey and windy, chilly day. And this is a crochet, knitting and generally crafty podcast. You can find the show notes for this podcast on my blog, which is cherryheart.co.uk. You can find me on Instagram as Sandra Cherry HRT, and I'm also on Facebook, Ravelry, and so on. All the links are on my blog. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming back if you are a returning viewer, and thank you for checking me out if you're new. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. And if you would like to subscribe, that would be great. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed recently, because yeah, there's been quite a few of you lately, so that's very exciting. Thank you for that. We'll start with a little podmin, as I've decided to call it. First up is the Better Out Than Stash along that I did at the beginning of the year. That's all over now, but just to say that I have a prize left that hasn't been claimed yet. One lovely little prize is waiting for its new owner. So if you took part in the stash along and you haven't seen my last episode, episode 28, where I announced the winners, yeah, do pop along and just see if you were one of the winners, because I'd like to, I'd like to get that prize sent off to the person who won it. So yeah, let me know, that would be fantastic. So the along that is running at the moment is the Hotel of Bees along that I'm running with my lovely friend Sam of Betsy Makes. It's a design by Christina Haddering. And there's a special podcast, just a little mini podcast about that also in the videos below, just to explain about that. But yes, that is ongoing, and it's fantastic seeing everyone's, checking out the hashtag on Instagram and seeing all the colours that people have planned to use. So many lovely combinations, and to see the shawls appearing. There's someone there that just, wow. Sometimes you see them and think, oh, I wish I'd done that. It's really good. But yeah, so there is a chatter thread open in my group on Ravelry. So that's Cherry Heart's Cozy Corner on Ravelry, and it's under HOBCAL. That's the tag. So HOB for Hotel of Bees, and then CAL for Crochet Along. So HOBCAL. So the chatter thread is in my group, which is Cherry Heart's Cozy Corner, and the finished objects thread, because some people have actually finished already, that's in Sam's group, which is, I think it's just called the Betsy Makes podcast group, but if you search Betsy Makes in the groups tab on Ravelry, you will find that. Yeah, so the finished objects thread is there. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning a prize for this crochet along, you'll need to post your shawl in the finished objects thread. But if you'd like to join the chatter thread as well, you can sort of see how everyone else is getting on and ask questions, and people have been fantastically helpful in there. It's a really busy thread, and I've sort of been away and I haven't really had much of a chance to sort of, follow it for quite a while. I've caught up a little bit now. But yeah, people have been really helpful, helping each other out if they get stuck, sharing their gorgeous pictures. So yeah, it's definitely a really good thread to check out. And we're hoping we'll be able to draw another winner from the chatter thread as well. So that'd be quite nice. So that's ongoing at the moment, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later, because I've started my Hotel of Bees shawl myself now. I've finally joined in with my own cowl. Oh, and just to say, there is still plenty of time to join in with that, because it's running till the end of May, and it's not a really, it's not a massively time-consuming shawl. Once you sort of get the hang of it, it does whip by. So, and the last thing to say about that is there is also the designer Christina Haddering very kindly offered us a discount code on her pattern. So if you use the code B20, BEE20, you'll get a 20% discount code, a 20% discount on that pattern using that code. So that's good to know. So yeah, so if you'd like to join us, that would be fantastic. And one last item of podmin was, oh yes, another crochet along actually. It's a crochet along that I designed a little while ago for the magazine Crochet Now, and it's just come out. The first episode has just come out in the UK. It's issue 14, it's the current one, and that's launched it. That's got the introduction in, so it's got all the sort of background information that you need to know about the crochet along, all the details about the blanket, the yarn you need, and so on and so forth. So that is out now. I'll just show you a little picture of the blanket. Yeah, so the response so far has been good, which is fantastic and a massive relief and very much appreciated. Yeah, so that's good. It's scary sending these little things out into the world and sort of thinking, oh my god. Yeah, but thank you. So thank you if you message me to say that you like it. It is very, very appreciated. And yes, what else can I say about that? Just that the magazine is it's pretty widely available in the UK. I think you can find it in most newsagents and supermarkets and things. I think it's a little harder to get abroad. I know you can get it in a couple of places, but I think probably digitally is the best option for a lot of people if you're overseas and you would be interested in making it. So if you go to the Crochet Now website, if you click on the 2017 crochet along, it's got the details, a picture of the blanket and some of the details about the blanket. But if you click on where to buy, it's got sort of links for digital subscriptions or how to buy digital copies, so that might be of interest. If you're not in the UK and you would like to join in, and the last thing was just to say that it runs for a year. So they called it the 2017 crochet along, but I think it will run all the rest of this year and then slightly into next year. So it's 13 issues altogether. The pattern's in 12 parts, and then there's this introductory issue that's out now. So I think it's out every 4 weeks, so 13 episodes is about a year. So I guess it's a year's subscription is the idea. Yeah, so just wanted to say that quickly because I got a lot of questions about that. But yeah, if there's anything else you want to know, just let me know, I guess. So that is Podmin out of the way. Let's move on to finished objects, because I want to talk about this. I finished it, yay! It's A Good Vintage Cardigan by Fran Morgan, and this was in the Simply Crochet magazine, I think. I think it was Simply Crochet issue 54, but it is available to buy online now through Ravelry. So it's easier to get hold of now because the magazine isn't the current issue anymore. So let me see if I can give you a little twirly twirl. So I'll do a little hover so you can see. Nice long sleeves, see, I got the sleeves sorted eventually. And yeah, it could have been a touch longer in the body, I think. And it is a little snug here. Ooh, let me sit down again. Sorry about the chair noise. Yeah, it is a little snug here, but between you and me, I have put on a little bit more weight since I first started making this. So yes, perhaps could have allowed myself a little more ease there, but that's weight that's coming off again, so it doesn't even matter actually, so let's not mention it. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how this turned out. I really love it. So I won't recap over the whole thing in case you've been here before and heard it, but just to briefly sort of fill you in if you don't know the story or can't remember. This pattern is for 4-ply yarn, and I, in my infinite wisdom, aka stupidity, decided to do it in double knit yarn instead, because as it happened I had a lot of Sirdar Snuggly, which this is, in my stash, and I had this lovely selection of colours. There's a couple, the pink is a Rico baby classic, and also the grey is as well, but all the others are Sirdar Snuggly. So I had all these colours in my stash, which seemed to work out perfectly, and I also had about 4 balls of this rice pudding sort of in-betweeny colour in stash. And I wasn't buying stash at the time and I wanted to make it, so this seemed like the perfect solution. However, it wasn't. So because I was using a DK weight yarn, I decided to go down a pattern size to get the fit I needed, which meant I had to use, oh yeah, but also I had to use a really small hook to get it. You know, I could have gone down 2 pattern sizes if the pattern had that many sizes, but it didn't. So I had to go down a pattern size and use a too tight hook for my yarn, really, to get this result. So I was really kind of forcing it to do it in this yarn, which wasn't the best decision ultimately. Having said that, after a bit of faffing and messing about, I did make it work. And I am really pleased with the result. So, you know, my life would have been a heck of a lot easier if I hadn't have used DK yarn though. But then at the same time, I don't know, I learned quite a lot doing it, and I do feel that I could make this cardigan again now in either double knit yarn or full ply yarn, and I'd know how to sort of adjust it to make it just right for me. Now I've sort of seen how it all works, I almost want to make another one just to sort of tweak it to exactly how I want it. This is almost exactly how I want it. But you know, I'd bring this neckline down a little bit here, and I'd also perhaps put a little bit of shaping in at the side, because I don't know if you could see, but when I stood up, you know, it could tolerate a little bit of shaping across here, I thought. That might be quite nice. So yeah, there are little tweaks I might make now I know how it all works. It's always the way, you make one and it's like a prototype, and now you've made one, you're like, oh, now I know how to make what I want to make. But who wants to make 2 of everything they want to make? No one. Yeah, but I really love this arm, how this arm is done. I've only done raglan sleeves up till now, but this sort of fitted in arm, I love it. I was really worried about how it would work and if I could get it to sew in nicely, but oh, I love it. The fit of it is so much nicer than anything else I've made. So it just must really, I don't know, I guess it just suits my body shape or something, but I really like it. Sorry, I'll stop touching it now. But yeah, it came out good. So I'm going to try, I haven't yet, so I'll try to remember what I did, all the sort of modifications I did, so I can put it on my Ravelry page, just in case any of you are interested. So basically it meant adding rows. I sort of added a few rows to the body. I added some to this section here and this section here, and I added some to the sleeve, but most of it is kind of as per the pattern, really. Sort of. But I didn't modify the actual written pattern as such, apart from adding rows and the whole double knit fiasco. So I'm just going to show you. The buttons. That's why I'm taking this off. So I got these. Just thought they were quite cute. Where's the camera? Yeah. I got these at my local yarn shop. I just popped in for something else, a bit of Stylecraft I think I wanted quickly, and yeah, I thought, well, I'll have a quick look while I'm here because I know she does buttons, and I found these. Aren't they cute? There's sort of the little pattern on them is actually holes. It's hard to get it up close enough so that you can see. Yeah, the actual little holes in it. So that's quite cute. I was really pleased with those. So yeah, I had in my mind that I wanted just sort of something quite neutral and plain, you see, sort of probably wooden ones I was going to go for. But I saw those and thought they were quite cute. So that is my cardigan, finally done, woohoo! And then my other finished object is something you haven't seen before at all, not even as a work in progress. I started it after we came back from Norfolk, so sort of just at the end of the Easter holidays, and I kind of finished it already. Let me show you. It is this, and this is my Hotel of Bees shawl. Let's show you some bees. So we've got sort of the honeycomb section, we've got the bees, different style of honeycomb, and the wings. There's a couple of different styles of honeycomb actually. They've got this sort of fillet style in a big honeycomb, and then this fillet style in a smaller honeycomb. So yeah, so I started it, and you know, not that in any particular rush, because I wanted to enjoy it. That's why I kind of waited a while before I started it, because I wanted to get the bulk of my commission out, sort of made up before I started this, so I wasn't stressing. And yeah, sort of started on the peach, went along quite nicely, doing a little bit every now and then. And then once I got to this stage, because you start at the sort of this long edge and it gets smaller as you go, you sort of get to about here, and then all of a sudden you sort of really speed up, and this sort of last bit went super quick. Let's take it off here so you can see. So yeah, so I didn't expect to sort of race through it and finish it this quickly. It's just the kind of way it worked out. So let me tell you about the yarn. The peach yarn, so I was going to use fingering weight yarn for this, because I didn't actually think I had any sport weight, and I've got loads of fingering weight. So my plan was to use that on a bigger hook, obviously, than the pattern said, and see if I could sort of roughly match the gauge and take it from there. Or, you know, the shawl might have come out a bit smaller, but I was prepared to go with that. That would have been fine. So I was umming and ahhing over colourways. I think I posted on Instagram. I had some sort of like a quite bright, vivid selection, and then I had a really subtle selection, and I was really pulled between the two, and the comments were almost equally down the middle as well. Some really loved the bright, some really loved the subtler shades. So I was in quite a quandary until I came back. That's another reason why I kind of delayed starting it, because I didn't know what to start with. And then I came back from Norfolk, and then just remembered, I think I must have been looking on Ravelry, which might have helped from the start, but I remembered that I actually have some sport weight yarn from Fawn and the Fox. So I had this colour here, which is called, I think it's called Perfectly Peach, or Peachy Perfect. And that's the sport weight from Fawn and the Fox. And then I had this second colour, which is her Spumoni colourway. Those are both, I think they're 100% merino. Oh, I love this one. So I've had these for quite a while actually, because I've not quite known. I think I got them, I think I bought them thinking they were 4-ply and I was going to make socks out of them, and then I thought they're sport weight, that's fine, I'll make thicker socks out of them, but then I wasn't sure of the yardage I'd need for sport weight socks, so I kind of, I don't know, they just sat in stash. So I had those two, so I thought I'll start with those and then I'll see what I'll have to finish. I actually had, oh, I don't think I brought it up. No, I didn't. I actually had a sort of duck egg blue, but it was really quite a dark, vivid duck egg blue, and I thought, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. But then I saw that lovely Sam, my friend Sam of Betsy Makes, had dyed up some sport weight colours for people to buy for the Hotel of Bees shawls. So I thought, oh, I'll have a look at those. And she had this colour, which is, it's one of those hard, tricky greens to capture. It's called Mojito. So it's a nice sort of soft green, almost like a sort of appley green, I suppose, but slightly more yellow. And it's got these tiny, tiny little blue flecks in it, which I don't know if you'll pick up. There's one. There's some on this side, which apparently Sam said was the way, because of the way the dye. She thought it was something she'd done, but it wasn't. It was just the dye split like that, so the sort of the bluiness of the green kind of leaked out of the dye. I don't know. I don't dye, so I don't really know. But anyway, you may know more about that than I do. But anyway, whatever the reason, I liked the effect. And I thought, because this Spumoni has got a green in it, and this Peachy has got a different green in it, I thought this sort of third might link them all together. So that's what I've gone with. What do you think? To be honest with you, I was a little bit on the fence about this. I started, and because I was slightly worried there wouldn't be enough contrast between my two colours, and I was surprised how much green this Spumoni had in it actually. I was a bit like, oh, I don't know, I'll do a bit more. So I sort of did this bit and I thought, oh, well, I really like the peach. I'll do a bit more. So I did the bees. And then I kind of did this because I'd got to that stage in the pattern and I was sitting there in the evening, so I was just working my way through it. And then I got to here and I really liked how the Spumoni was coming out, so I kept going. And then Sam came out with this and I thought that might work, so I just kept going. So it's kind of just happened without me making a decision about it as such. So yeah, I was kind of on the fence, and the moment where I decided I do actually like it was when I blocked it. I was pinning it all out. I was thinking, I'm not sure. I really like this little edge she's added, this little touch she's added to this edge. I like that. I decided to kind of, I put my blocking wires in that to kind of really make that feature because I liked it. Yeah, so I was blocking it and I pulled it out and I kind of pinned it all in place, and I thought, and that was when I decided I liked it basically. It's a completely different look than I thought I would have gone for that pattern. So yeah, if you'd shown me this before, I would have said, no, that's not the one I would make. That can't be mine. But at the same time, yeah, I have decided I do like it. I keep thinking I'm going to say something else about that. I don't know. I think just that, you know, when I see other people's that have made colour choices that are perhaps more what I thought I was going to make, I keep thinking, oh, did I do the right thing? But at the same time, I like that as well. So there you go. Maybe that's the good thing about this being a crochet along, is that I can see and sort of absorb and appreciate all the other lovely colourways and decisions that people have made, and sort of enjoy it via that as well as enjoy my own. So maybe that's a good thing. Yeah, so that's finished objects, things that I have done. Let us move on to what I am doing now, which isn't a lot really. Like I said, I've been busy with a commission. So I have got this little thing, which you have seen before, and I don't think it's moved on that much since we last spoke. I might have done another couple of repeats. That is my Colourfield shawl by the lovely Kemper. Yeah, this was one I fell in love with after watching Legacy Knits podcast, and I love and adore it. So I'm really looking forward to picking this back up again. So my yarns for this one is Lemon Brittle from the Walk collection, and this one is Pistachio from Hedgehog Fibres, which I got both of these at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival. This was on the Walk collection, they had their own stand, and this one was on the Yarn Story stand, Yarn Story from Bath. So those are my two, which I'm really... Sorry about that, I just had to stop because a ginormous bee had come in. I don't know how it got in, the door's not open, so it must have snuck in and laid here quietly. Probably wanted to hear all about the Hotel of Bees shawl. And when I finished that section, he thought, well, I may as well go. Right, so the bee has gone. So yeah, I think that's all there is to say about that. As I say, I haven't worked on it much lately because of events that have been going on. But yes, looking forward to getting back to that one and making it grow. And the other thing I have on the go is, it's quite difficult to show you actually, it's a sort of bitty thing. So I've got a little leg, 2 little legs. I think I've got all its parts now. See if you can guess what it is from the parts. That's its body. That's its head. It's got a tail. And it's also got, it's got arms. There's one of those. This will give you a big clue. Its ears. It's going to be a kitty cat. So I was given this book. It's called Crocheted Bears and Other Animals, 25 Toys to Crochet, and it's by Emma Brown. So I was asked if I would mind reviewing this book. So I said, oh, yeah, that looks rather fun. I wouldn't mind if I did do that. So yes, they kindly sent a copy through to me, so thank you, Emma, for thinking of me. That's very kind of you. And yeah, it's a really cute little book. I will post about this, so I won't go into too much detail about the book here. Suffice to say that it is a really fun book, and it is a great little book if you want to make some little toys for children, because what Emma's done is sort of created this little island for them all to live in. So she's, why am I showing you that? That tells you nothing. So when she has here's my kitty cat. That's Cherry. Appropriate. Not my choice of what to make. I gave darling daughter free rein and she wanted the kitty cat. But she gives a little bit of sort of, she's created this little place where they all live, so she sort of tells you a little bit about the characters of each toy and sort of what they do on, I think it's an island they all live on. So it's really nice because when I was showing my daughter it, she kind of liked that aspect. She wanted to know what each animal did and what they were like, and I think that kind of informed her choice of which one she went for, because she loves dogs, she loves cats, and she loves horses as well. So there are other things in here she could have gone for, but I think she liked sort of the little stories. So that was quite nice. I'm just going to show you a couple of the other sort of cute little animals. There's a lovely rabbit in here. He's lovely. I might have chosen him if it was down to me. That's Hodge. And I really like these guys. This is Boris. Archie and Boris. I really like these ones. They're so cute. I thought she might go for them, but no. Probably because I said I like them and she's at that real, you know, stubborn, like if I say you can do something, she can't, and if I say she can't do something, she can, kind of thing. Just to prove a point. Yeah, and these as well. Look, I like these. This is Lacey and Mustard. Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, so it's full of lovely things like that. And yeah, so to review, you know, as part of reviewing the book, I did want to sort of use it to make one of the patterns out of it. So, oh look, can you see? I ran out of yarn. I've got a slight... Cherry the cute kitty has got a slight tide mark, bless her. So that's the head going on. I wonder if it should be that way. No, that don't look right either, does it? Yeah, so I've got to put it all together, obviously. But I just thought I'd show you that quick little work in progress. So, as I say, it was Little Miss's choice of animal, her choice of colour. It had to be in these colours that she required. I'm not allowed to make the apron, that part is not required. She wants to dress it herself. His little tail. So yeah, so once I've sewn it together, I also haven't got any safety eyes for its face. So because she's, you know, not a little tot anymore, I could perhaps use buttons for eyes, or maybe I'll try embroidering something. Yeah, so I need to sort of sort that out. And then it's got a fabric patch on its nose for its little snout. So hopefully I might finish that quite soon, maybe tonight. And yeah, that would be good. So that's where I'm at with those. I've got some incoming goodies to share with you. I'm just going to get one of them actually. So this incoming goodie is something that I promised myself a little while ago. It's by the very lovely Jules of So Sweet Violet, who I am mentioning pretty much every podcast at the moment. So hi Jules. Yes, she showed these on one of her podcasts a little while ago, and it was about the time that I was moving up to have this sort of outside garden room as my craft room. And I thought to myself, I'm going to get myself one of those and it's going to go in the craft room. So I've kind of been waiting for her to do some more and put them on in her shop so that I could snag one. And I managed to get one. So Jules being Jules, you do have to be a little bit quick off the mark to get these because her work is just gorgeous. And yeah, I was so happy I managed to snag one of these. I'd already brought the frame because when she podcasts about it, I don't know which one it was, I'm afraid. She sort of explained how she made them, and she makes them perfectly. You could just hang it up like that. She does the back for you as well. It's all finished exquisitely, as everything is from Jules. Got her little label on the back there. So it's a complete piece as it is, but she did say that she likes to frame hers, and she said the name of the frame from IKEA, I think it's a river frame. So I happened to go to IKEA, so I got my frame ready, and I just had to wait until I could get the butterflies, and I finally got them, so I'm so happy about those. So the little Liberty butterflies that she makes, and she's got the name of like the fabric and the colour under each one. So it's like one of those sort of Victorian style specimen board type things. But it's just exquisite. So I'm so pleased. She was saying about how much work went into each one, and I can imagine it because it's just so beautifully done. You can, everything's all stitched on, but you can barely see the sort of trace of where the stitches are, and it's just so nicely done. I don't know quite how she manages it, but yeah, so I'm very, very pleased to have one of these in my possession. So I will put it in its frame. Now I've shown you it in all of its gorgeous 3D beauty. I'm going to put it in its frame to make sure it stays nice and protected. And it's going to go back on the wall. So yeah, that was a very happy day when that came. And then I got a parcel from the Very Clever, one of my favourite dyers, the lovely Regina from HOBCAL Regina. And I signed up to her minis club, her January, February and April minis club. And the March minis came this week. And she said she thought I might like them, this particular one. I mean, I like all of her things, so. But I can see why she said it this time. Because it's very minty. Oh, they're just especially gorgeous this time. I think she's right. I think she has outdone herself this time. Now, I'm not sure of the names. She has announced the names for each of these now. I know on the packet that they came in, it said names to be announced. I know she has put them up now because she's done an update with some full skeins of some of these colours. But I think it's based on eggs, so sort of speckled eggs was the idea of it. So let me just show you. I mean, each one is just lovely. I just love the way they make this beautiful gradient when they're all together. This one is one of my favourites because it kind of looks beigey, but it's got sort of nice yellows, subtle peaches in there. So lovely. This one is a gorgeous creamy one, but again, nothing is just bog standard with Regina's stuff. It's just got so much going on. You know, you might look at that and go, oh, it's just a cream, what's the point? But it's not. It's got such subtle variations, tiny little subtle sprinkles. It's just beautiful. This one, is this one my favourite? I think this one might be my favourite. It's just got the mints, it's got some creams, it's got some little pinks in there. It is so nice. It actually looks really subtle. I think where she's put the larger skeins on in her shop, they look sort of more, I guess you get more of the sort of effect of the different colours and things, so it looks a little bit more vibrant, whereas these look a little more subtle. That's blowing that out slightly, but it's just really gorgeous mint, again with similar tones in, but they just work perfectly like that. So I think I know what I want to do with these. I need another sort of minty one here, slightly stronger minty one here, but I thought maybe this might work like that, but I've got an idea for I'd need a bit more of that, but I've got an idea, so we'll see. And then last but by no means least, I got another lovely gift from my sweet adorable friend Amelia in America. We often have a little chat now, and yeah, she's a lovely sweet girl, and lovely sweet lady. Yeah, and the other day I got a parcel popped through my door, and it was a little gift from her, completely unexpected, but just so lovely. She sent me a lovely little card, which you can't see, I've put it up on the shelf there. But this gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. Now this is a real treat. She told me about this. This is one of her favourite dyers. It's from Spun Right Round. And this is in the Mintalicious colourway. It's a merino singles. 100% merino, superwash merino, 400 yards, 100 grams. As you can see, it's going to have a, can you see? It's going to have a fantastic little halo to it. Oh, it's so squishy. So it's gorgeous, gorgeous mint with this, look at that acidy sort of yellowy green and hot pink in there. Oh, so nice, and those dark sprinkles. Love it. I love it. Yeah, so this was a real treat because she told me about this company and I'd gone to check it out. I think they're on Etsy. Does it say? They may have their own website, it doesn't actually say. But I think they're on Etsy. And yeah, it's very drool worthy, a very drool worthy site, I have to say. And I was so tempted to order something, but America is very, very expensive at the moment, and I know because I've had some things from it recently, I will get clobbered for customs charges because the last couple that have come through I've had to pay, and so it, you know, when you're paying more for the sort of postage and customs than you're paying for the yarn you're getting, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? So I really don't feel I can get things from America at the moment. So yeah, this is a really especially treaty treat to have that. So thank you so much, Amelia, that was so kind of you. So I think that is it. Just one last section, and that is podlove. Time to share a bit of podlove with the podcasts I have been watching or listening to lately. Excuse me, sorry. So the podcast I have been enjoying lately is Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. It's an audio podcast, and it's my first audio podcast that I've really got into. I haven't really given them a proper try, is what I'm trying to say. I sort of tried one, but she was sort of talking about what she was making, but I was like, but I can't see it. So I found it quite sort of difficult, and then I didn't really sort of try it again with a crafty one for quite a while. So anyway, I thought I would try this one because I met Alison, who is one of the hosts in Edinburgh. So we were sort of, you know, I was getting her details off her and everything, and she was saying about it. So I thought, well, okay, great, I'll give it a try. So she podcasts together with her mum, who is Vivian. So it's Alison and Vivian. And as I say, it's an audio podcast. But what they do is, I think you can get it on iTunes or wherever you do audio podcasting, but they also put it on YouTube. So what she does is she will put up sort of some pictures. So it's mostly, you know, it's not that visual, but at the same time there are some visual aids. So, you know, she'll sort of say, I'm working on such and such, and she'll put a picture up of, you know, like a still of what she's working on, and then they'll have like little what are they called, you know, little captions of like each section they're talking about, or they'll have a picture to sort of show who's talking. So it's a nice sort of, it's kind of like a little gateway podcast into audio podcasts. It's like it is audio, but it just gives you that little visual something. So for me, I found that a nice little way into the audio podcast world, but I really, really enjoy it. It's just really nice to listen to the two of them sort of chattering away. Alison's moved to Edinburgh relatively recently, and her mum, she's American. They're both American, so her mum has stayed in America and she's moved to Edinburgh. Yeah, and her mum is the knitter and Alison is the crocheter, and so they're just sort of, you know, like most podcasts. They tell you what they're making and, you know, what they've been up to, but they have some other sort of quite nice sections. They normally do like a little quiz at the beginning and sort of see, you know, which Harry Potter character are you or whatever, or and she'll do a section, ask mum anything. So she'll ask her mum a sort of yarny or knitting related question because her mum's been sort of, you know, doing the craft for longer. So yeah, it's just a really nice sort of soothing and comforting listen, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, go and check that out. So it's the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast, KCACY, as they say, which I quite like because it kind of rolls off the tongue. It sounds like an American radio station. You're listening to KCACY. But yeah, go and check them out. It's good. So I think that is it for me this week. I will leave you to get back to your lovely lives, and I will see you next time. Have a lovely time, have some lovely relaxing crafty time, and I'll see you then. Bye! But this is a let's start.